want to welcome you to the Preserve at CHOZEN Retreat. This is a space for community to come, learn and grow and share and walk into a regenerative future together. So when we first got here, we started collecting all the land that we were clearing, all the carbon and all the nitrogen, and we started adding it to these compost piles. And we're finally starting to harvest the beautiful, rich, black soil. And this is what's gonna fill our garden beds, and this is what's gonna grow our plants. And the fertility from the plants that were here going into the vegetables that we're about to grow gives me such a beautiful representation of the life cycle and how it all comes back together. One of my favorite parts about this property is how much moss there is. It just grows everywhere, and it's almost like the green carpet that we get to walk on and just connect with the earth and share in her beauty. Thank you, moss. Right now I'm still working with the access and circulation, the pathways, the roadways, the way people and vehicles will move through the property. And then we'll start adding more and more trees and gardens and more structures. So we're going from patterns to details, so we can really develop an effective and a really functional village. This is one of my favorite places on the water. I've always been attracted to the water's edge. So one of the first things we created was this beach in order to people to connect with the water and find that edge between water and land. When those two ecosystems come together, it creates a whole new ecosystem where we have fertility and life really flourishing, as well as creating a beautiful, peaceful space. So much life. Sand tells stories with footprints, animals that have come here to drink from the water. This is the first of many fruit trees we've planted. Here, this is a lychee tree, and soon we'll have fruit trees all around the lake, creating an abundance of perennial fruits so we can all share with the community to grow healthy, happy, and abundant community. So we have so many native plants here in the preserve. This is the saw palmetto, which grows the palmetto berries used for prostate medicines, as well as blackberry right here, which you can dehydrate these leaves and this makes a wonderful medicinal tea. So literally there's food and medicine all around us before we've planted the single plant. So we're going to have tiny houses, actually airstreams, up here for people to live, and this will be the center of our village where people live, share, grow, teach, learn, and this will be where the community gathers and collects as a community. So exciting. I always like to showcase this plant because it kind of gets a bad reputation because it's so invasive here in Florida. But this is the Brazilian pepper, and it creates these wonderful little red berries in which you can use as a spice. You can actually put these in a pepper grinder and put them on your salads or your food, and they're so delicious and so such a wonderful part of any meal. And it's a great example of how if we really appreciate the things that are taken for granted or not appreciated, how they can add so much to our lives. And I really appreciate this plant for its being a teacher. Whenever I'm designing a piece of property or designing a project, I like to look at what's already there and kind of appreciate and respect what's growing naturally. And that way, instead of just imposing my will onto the property, I really just appreciate what's there and move with it, kind of like dancing with the space instead of trying to force the space. I love working with this land because we can create. We have the opportunity to make a container where people can share and learn together. And we can all teach each other how to live peacefully with the earth and create a world of less waste, more love, and more open to growing a future in which we're all prosperous, all our hearts are heard, and we can really connect with the beauty of nature all around us. The vibrations have been lowered through the way we've developed land, through the way we've imposed our will on nature, and now I see in this co-creation and this interaction with nature, it is actually raising the planetary vibration and actually lifting us up as a species, as a planet, and creating a space that wants to live in peace and harmony. This is the beginnings of our bee project. And we've decided to use comfort hives, which imitate natural beehives, instead of the Langstroth hives, which are designed to produce lots of honey. These produce healthy, happy bees. So if you notice, the holes are just single round holes. Some of them are just cracks, and they would imitate how a bee would create a hive in nature. And what it's produced is a very friendly and very strong bee colony that work together. And to sit here just watching them so busy, so always active, always productive, it really fills me with inspiration. And just knowing they're out there pollinating the future so we can all eat, we can all grow, and we can all share. They feed us and we feed them. Part of the cycle. Building a stage right in front of us, so this grassy field in front of us becomes an area to sit, listen to speakers, share wisdom, or listen to musicians share beautiful music, and it becomes a place for community, for gathering, and for creating that beautiful space which we all need to flourish and really feel good and alive. This is one of my favorite spaces. That place where bhakti comes alive and you feel joy, and this is pretty exciting. I love to have that area where we can all express our hearts and feel free to let loose, shake it off. I'm reminded that all the chaos and all the man-made action it's only temporary and it's only a story. And behind that is the beauty and the peace of nature all around us. Is the entrance into the nature trail system, in which we're able to walk through dense old growth Florida. It's such an experience to see these trees that have been here for so long and just be part of this beautiful ecosystem and really appreciate nature holding us in this space. There's so many lessons from the way the trees grow together, creating this supportive ecosystem, to the way they collaborate with each other, and the way competition surrenders to collaboration, and the way they thrive because of each other. I think we have so much to learn from these beautiful ecosystems. I think we're on the right path as humanity, just by walking within them. So all these plants have so many uses, and you could spend a lifetime just trying to learn them all. This one is the beautyberry, and it is actually fantastic for so many reasons. One is a pollinator, and for a fodder for food for birds, but also it makes an absolutely wonderful insect repellent, where you can take the leaves and add it under your skin and the mosquitoes will leave you alone. So her gift is to give us that peace from the biting insects. Would you like to smell them? These are fantastic. This is where I'm building my bridge. So we're building a bridge here now to take us over this creek into the nature preserve trails. There's another gift to the forest. These beautiful lichens creating this red and white patterns on the trees. These are a beautiful symbiotic relationship between mycelium and bacteria, creating this amazing new organism that just decorates our beautiful trees with art and life. You could spend a lifetime appreciating every square inch of the forest out here. It has so many stories and so many lessons to teach. It's nice to take the time to slow down and really listen to the conversations being had here. The fresh sprouts of next generations. I like this space because it just reminds me of an ancient time where vines were taking over and just lost in the plants, and it really reminds me of the scale of everything. We're just so small. The plants are so strong. It's nice to be an observer here in this space. I like these two trees here because they tell the story of two beautiful beings coming together and never quite touching, but they've grown together in their whole world. And now it just reminds me of how we all need each other in this interdependent world. I want to show you my favorite spot out here in the preserve. I feel this is a portal into the next realm of magical fairy creatures and humans meeting together. It's really beautiful. walk on this, what looks like the path into this next dimension. But it's so beautiful, and I just want people to be able to appreciate it. I originally wanted to bring the path through here just because it looks so perfect, but I didn't want to destroy this beautiful space. So it was a good teacher in how just because something looks like a path doesn't necessarily mean that we should go down it. So this is the path we shouldn't follow. It's just here for us to see. This will be called the Preserve at CHOZEN Retreat. Yeah, so this will be our dedication to the earth. In permaculture, we have zones, and we like to have a zone in which we leave to grow naturally. And this is the space that we use as our teacher, as our school, as our church, as our place to just see what nature wants to do if left alone. I feel very fortunate to be able to be a part of such a beautiful project dedicated to connecting people to a time forgotten, to a way of life that slows down and connects with the earth under our feet, with the food that fills our bellies, with the community that fills our hearts, and to be part of such a beautiful movement. I can't think of a better path to be on. So permaculture is a design science. It's really a way of thinking that imitates nature to create abundant, healthy ecosystems for man. We learn from indigenous wisdom, we learn from healthy ecosystems, and we learn how to co-create with this beautiful tapestry of life, this orchestra going on all around us, and how we can introduce ourselves without destroying that beautiful tapestry. So permaculture can be so much, from economics to horticulture to design, water, energy, renewable resources. So more than one thing, permaculture is a holistic approach to creating a symbiotic dance with nature.
Pray for the earth, for the ones yet to come.
Here we created a space for campers to come out and set up tents to really immerse themselves in nature, to sleep under the stars, to wake up listening to the birds, and to really connect with nature in an intimate way that is a lot harder to do in a city block or in a condominium. Here we provide the opportunity to immerse in nature, and that can be quite an enlightening experience.
Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of sails to carry the sound.
Nature has always been my greatest teacher and my greatest escape, and to sit and just observe in the quiet, peaceful nature.
Remember your soul. Remember why you came.
It's so nice to recognize that space is all around us, and it always has been. So to let go of the old patterns and walk into this new, beautiful age of interactive existence fills my heart with so much hope and so much inspiration, and I'm glad to be part of this work, walking into a regenerative future.
Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of sails.
So I invite you to come to the Preserve at CHOZEN and learn with us, grow with us, be part of the community that's walking into a future filled with love, abundance, and prosperity.